Our first match of the evening. These are two of the strongest players in Europe at the moment, no question about this. According to EnTe, it's number 1 versus number 3. HawK versus Happy, the two Russian gods. Happy, extremely hot right now, won just the latest WGL, as you guys most certainly know. He is coming into this as the big favorite. Look at this win rate against each other. 82% win rate for Happy against HawK. Whew. That is looking pretty rough. Win rate against Human by Happy, 86% is even higher. Yeah, Happy's pretty strong. We know that. No surprise there. He is an outstanding player. And HawK, we have heard in the past that he is not too comfortable with this matchup. In fact, feels that it is rather imbalanced, as quite a few humans tend to agree with him. Let's go into the first map to see how this will go. Last Refuge is our first map. It is Happy in the bottom left. And wait, let me make sure that I have the overlays correct. I do. HawK in the top right. So, it is AM first. This was the first big question of the game here, of the day kind of for HawK. As I said, MK first is seeing much more popularity again, and HawK used to play that. But it seems like HawK is at the moment not so practiced with it. He's been playing AM for a long time now, and goes for the AM here again.
Yeah, when we talk about practice, HawK actually yesterday started the new season of Path of Exile all day, and he continued today, so that's his practice for the game, I think.
Oh, okay. I mean, I hear it's a really good expansion, like the Blight thing or whatever. Dude, Happy has started to adjust. Have you noticed this, EnTe? Happy used to play only level 1 harass all the time without any creeping, like for almost years, it seemed like. But now he's beginning to creep a little bit. What's your take on this?
You cannot really harass the human player on the first spot. And that's when you arrive. The first spot is done and you arrive there and you summon a skeleton and he will nuke the skeletons.
Yep, exactly. Normally you can't get the water elemental, you can't get the last hits, but Happy still used to do it. He still used to do it all the time. Also at WGL, it was level 1 DK harass, instant DK harass every single time. But we already saw that yesterday in his match against Romantic. They are also on... I think it was on Concealed. On Concealed, yeah. He started with 1 creep camp as well, and then went for harass. So it's like a minute, tiny thing, I know. But me, myself, as an Undead player, I have been trying to study Happy hard over the last years and tried to copy him with very little success. But yeah, this is certainly something that has changed in his play. Has obviously the benefit that a DK now has 100 experience. If you go only for harass, only for coil last hits and stuff, and you don't get the last hits, then you can oftentimes be left without mana, without level 2, and then the mid game can be pretty hard. And HawK, by the way, is not expanding on LR, which is the same as I saw from him last time on LR as well, which just kind of surprised me. Like, of all the maps, it seems to me, LR is one of the more easy ones to expand on.
He's going exactly for Rifleman, 1 base so far.
So you think he's gonna play the tier 3 rush with Rifle Priest?
Yeah, I think he will not make a tier 2 expansion because this has some timing issue. The Undead player can really punish this easily.
Could you expand on that? Why the tier 2 expansion is dangerous and how the Undead can punish it?
Because you stay on Rifleman and Casters, and the Mountain King is most likely level 2 when the Undead hits tier 3. And the Undead just buys the Dark Ranger third and summons master number of skeletons, and then you will get overrun by it.
Yeah.
And especially when you have Orb of Corruption against you. And as human, I feel like in this matchup these days, you need to Orb yourself to deal with the Undead base and army.
Yeah, absolutely. Orb is super strong. Perhaps one of the strongest things that human has in the late game. And one of the reasons why Rifles is so good with it, because you can make great use of Focus Fire with Rifles. Much better than you could with, as you could then in comparison with Knights or Breakers. And of course Rifles do become very strong once upgraded, and Inner Fire and all that stuff. So Human basically becomes really strong in the super late game. If we get to triple hero, if we get to tier 3, 65 supply plus, but it's hard to get there. I often feel like that's the issue. Hard to survive that time. DK getting pressured
First
really
bottom is
hard.
lost.
Still trading here. The deny game on the footies is a little bit weak. Those early
Didn't
game
work out
denies
there.
do usually matter because the DK now gets level 2. Without that, he wouldn't have been there. But I guess now with the Lich out, creeping will begin. When you face this one-base rifle style, EnTe, with the tier 3 and MK and stuff, how do you prioritize in the mid-game when to creep, when to pressure? What's your game plan?
Most likely on maps like Last Refuge, you want to stop the human from creeping too fast because he wants to have a level 3 Archmage obvious. And Last Refuge is a map where the creep spots are not that easy and you can easily punish the human player when you start making spots. And you can easily creep here as Undead player on Last Refuge. And I feel like when you pressure the human player before the Mountain King is there, you have most likely the overhand in the early game. As you can see right now here, the Archmage is only level 2, same amount of experience points like the Death Knight.
Yeah. Sorry for the hiccup. So, MK is here now. Happy is retreating further back. Yeah, I oftentimes feel that it's in the Undead's best interest to keep levels low, if it has to be the case on both sides. Because Lich usually is okay on level 1 and level 2 in the late game. He's not great, but he's okay. Whereas MK, below level 3 in the late game, always seems very, very weak to me. Starting to use the first couple of Stormbolts, but with a statue here that might actually be enough. Nova to slow down the MK, ensure the retreat for the Fiend, and Mountain King already super hurt. DK with one more coil should easily be able to save that Fiend. Holding on to it as long as he can.
Yeah, he has only 2 riflemen. There's not enough damage to kill a Fiend with the bolt here.
Yeah, and that's the issue of no level 2 water elemental, right? If the AM was level 3, if you had the level 2 water elements now, this would be much more doable to snipe these Fiends. But that's not the case. I wonder what Happy's going to play here against this tier 3 rifle style. This has been pretty popular now for a while. Was already played with decent success at the last WGL. What do you think he's going to go for, Happy, here, as his late game army?
I think he will just make the standard, like one Abomination with Disease Cloud upgrades. As a third hero, the Dark Ranger, probably with Skeletons and not Silence first.
Yeah.
And he will snipe the Priest like he did against Romantic. Like we always calling over the Priest, and Romantic had in the end fight 5 Priests, and then when the fight really started, he only had 1 left.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
And that is really important, to have this heal, the sustain from the Priest, and also Inner Fire. Inner Fire is super strong. If you can diminish the Priest numbers, it can be very beneficial. 1-0 with this style likes oftentimes to play Crypt Lord third. I don't think I've seen Happy ever do this, though, against this tier 3 human play. Seems like Happy does prefer the Dark Ranger. I know that you like to play Crypt Lord at least on ladder sometimes.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the hero in this matchup?
Against tier 2 human, Crypt Lord is a good choice because it's very good to impale the priest and the casters and the rifleman and Nova follow up and stuff like this. But against tier 3 human rifleman with inner fire upgrade, crippled hero that can color heal, I think Crypt Lord is out of mana too much early before you can really make a huge difference in the fight.
Yeah.
So Dark Ranger is probably the best answer because you can silence the Paladin also for hero nukes, and of course you have the skeletons, which are important.
Alright, this is where things gonna shape up now. Happy just hit a big power spike. Level 3 DK, level 3 Lich. Skeletons were already sent out to see the human where he is. He finds HawK now in the bottom right. HawK will absolutely have to TP out of this. Can he save that Priest? Oh, nice Holy Light! Attempting, but not quite saving that Priest. That was the difference of the level 2 coil. This AM, amazingly, is still not level 3. Mountain King, okay, at least they're very close in levels. So AM and MK are gonna hit level 3 here with the lab. That's a nice thing. On LR, if you want to play passively, there's always kind of big, valuable camps around your main. And yeah, HawK, he lost 1 valuable unit, 1 priest so far. He lost the TP as well, but he has gotten through this mid-game without suffering too much.
Yeah, but on the other hand, Happy got the 2 big red spots and he got a claw plus 12.
Oh.
So Lich is plus 23 and this is gonna hurt a lot.
Oh, the Fiend upgrades, dude. Look at the Fiend upgrades.
Yeah.
For years and years, Fiend upgrades were kind of neglected and only really prioritized in Undead Mirror, kind of nowhere else. But especially against Human, I see this more and more from Happy. Also against Pally rifles and stuff. He plays heavy upgrades on the Fiends here as well. 2-1 upgrades already, and with the Aura, with the command, that's basically 3-1 rifles on the Fiends. This is a lot of focus fire potential. Stormbolt on the DK. I never like this choice. I feel like this is always a misplay. This never leads to a kill. And with that, the first Fiend death is going to be delayed for quite a while. Militia coming all the way from the main. One Fiend is actually about to go down. Stormbolt again on the DK, and with that he dies! Oh my god, he didn't see that coming. Stormbolt, Holy Light, big mana investment, but gets him the kill. Happy though, he's pretty rich. Can easily rebuy the DK from the tavern. No mana now, but still the health stone. Perhaps a slight mistake by Happy, not using that health potion, I mean, earlier. Also didn't have the ring on the DK, so slight mistakes there. That did cost him the Death Knight buyback and the Fiend kill. It looked horrible at the beginning of this fight for HawK, but fights his way back with the hero kill.
Yeah, he nukes the Death Knight so that the Death Knight has to be pulled back and be in the back line instead of the front line. And then Happy just moved in again with the low HP DK, and HawK just took the chance.
Yeah. That could have been prevented again with that heal pot, but alright, here we go. HawK now with the expansion on the high ground. That looks risky. This is so many resources going into this. It could be totally unscouted though. This is a pretty unusual move, but Happy goes in again. Nova on the Rifleman, and there's no Inner Fire yet. This threat only becomes really good once Inner Fire kicks in, but there's just not enough Priest, not enough mana, and just not enough army it seems like for HawK. He's trading decently against the Fiends, but I think it's a 2-for-1 trade so far for Happy. Mana is low on the DK though, no coils anymore at all, and the Lich now in trouble, has to transfer the heal pot, which also has reduced healing, by the way, thanks to the Orb of Fire. And the Lich in trouble again, has to transfer the TP, saves him with that, gets another kill and level 4. HawK holds and survives at the expansion, but he lost a lot of army.
Yeah, Happy is on way more supply right now. But the expansion is running, so maybe if he gets time, he can pull up with the supply numbers.
Yeah. And I guess the question is, does Happy have a feeling about this? Is he going to scout for this? Happy is an undead who oftentimes in the late game likes to skip on Rods of Necromancy to save money, especially in upkeep. So he's not going to be getting skeletons from there. Dark Ranger could summon some, and of course, this is important because skeletons are great at scouting. Hero levels for Happy are looking super strong though. 4, 4, 3, oh goodness. This is extremely dangerous.
And he got the Cyclone stuff, which is very nice for making some quick nukes on heroes with cycloning the Paladin in the air.
Oh yeah, absolutely. With Silence and Wand of the Wind, this is gonna be tough. Paladin, by the way, without Divine Shield. This means he could very easily be getting nuked as well. Oh, and that's the most important thing in the late game here. The Destroyer was over at the expansion scouting it, and I'm pretty sure he saw it. Yep, he's walking over. And there's no way that HawK can hold this. No way. No way. He's got 3 rifles and 3 priests. Not in a million years. He doesn't even have a TP, does he? No. This expansion's dead. It mined for about... what is that? 800 gold? So, got a little bit more money back than he invested, but... not a very successful expansion regardless.
The only good thing which right now is happening, that HawK has a little bit more time to creep the last spots on the map to make his heroes a little bit stronger.
Yeah. Level 3 Pally is certainly a big upgrade. MK, by the way, no clap. It is Stormbolt and Bash. Happy does have Frost Armor, by the way. How do you feel about Frost Armor? I always feel like it's kind of not wasted, but it seems only semi-effective against ranged units. How do you feel about that in this matchup?
I feel Frost Armor against Human could be made on level 4, especially since he has 2 melee heroes, Mountain King and Paladin. And both of them slowed down is really important, actually.
Okay.
Because they are the ground control for the Human player.
Alright, so here comes the Creep Jack, by the way, by Happy, and it's starting off greatly for the Undead player. Dark Ranger in the back, she's in trouble, but she hits the double silence to keep the MK and Pally controlled. Sorceresses coming from the main, easily getting taken out. The Fiend right-clicks 2-2 on these Fiends. Super heavy upgrades by Happy. DK safe in the back. Dark Ranger, she might be in trouble. Oh, last second coil. Saves her. Still damaged though, very severely so, because of that Orb of Fire. Stormbolt is cooling down, but so is the coil. Dark Ranger is safe. One of the wins everywhere. Actually, HawK had that one as well, but HawK doesn't have much army left with only 39 supply. He didn't get to critical mass this game, it seems like. Oh, Burrows perhaps won't save the Fiends. MK so much mana. He was disabled so heavily with the Silence and the Wand of the Wind. He couldn't make use of all of his mana, of all of his spells. HawK still holding on. The Paladin in trouble. He has the Rune Bracers, but that's not enough to protect him. And that's what you get for not having Divine Shield. But of course, Aura is also very valuable. But now HawK is plummeting severely in supply. Down to, what is this? 39. And Happy chasing further. Yeah, he's got the level 2 Aura. No safety, Death Pact here. So chasing is very easy. MK trying to slow things down, but it's hard to slow down this Undead army.
Ooh, nice stuff.
Yeah, that was a good one. Nice save there. Oh, but he can't afford to lose the Pally. He was just bought back from the tavern. The Lich doesn't have Frost
No mana.
Nova, no. He used Frost Armor again on the DK, I think. Right, HawK still holding on. Still trying.
Like the items on HawK's heroes actually are really good. Like if he has some time to get a bigger army, I feel like this could be very dangerous for Happy.
True, but never seems to have the time to get to critical mass. This human tier 3 army is super strong with these hero levels and 65 supply. But Happy seemingly never gave him the time to get there. Always struck before with his around 60 supply as well, perhaps a little bit less. With these super strong Fiends. 2/2 Fiends, man. I'm still kind of not blown away, but yeah. Interesting. Interesting to keep note of this. Happy prioritizing these upgrades so much recently. And HawK is trying. HawK is fighting. And actually, HawK is finding some kills. Hold on.
Yeah.
Level 3 Dark Ranger. But Happy doesn't have too much firepower in here anymore. The heroes, yes, but only 1 Fiend out of the ground. 3 Fiends now actually in the ground. HawK still battling. MK so much mana still. But it's so hard to kill these heroes.
He's rarely using a bolt, I feel. Like right now he's doing one.
Yeah. DK has to TP for the Holy Light. That was kind of close. That was really close, actually.
Yeah.
But in the back, which I completely didn't see this entire time, we have an expansion for Happy. And now he has the late game insurance as well. Lich is almost level 5. And that's an insane level up. DK also very close. We do finally have the first A-bomb. This took forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess when you invest so heavily into Fiends, you kind of want to produce them as much as you can. Get as much value out of them as you can. And there is the level 5 Lich. Level 5 DK right around the corner. And HawK now seeing the expansion. Alright, this is it. This is all in. Last ditch effort. Against Happy's 58 supply with only 44. 3 rifles, 1 priest, 1 gyro. This army is looking a little bit with something left to be desired. Mana's still looking good for HawK though. But the Pally in trouble again. Remember, no Divine Shield. There's no web actually, so it's hard to deal with the flying machines for Happy. And the A-bomb is almost gonna fall. But so much healing reduced, again, because of the Orb of Fire. And the first Fiend dies, the second Fiend about to fall as well. Nope, not quite. DK heals it one more time. MK now in trouble, but still with the heal pot, still with a Pally in the back. Nova into the Priest. Those are easy kills, of course. Happy doesn't have much mana left. DK is dry, so is the Lich. Lich could eat some units for mana, of course, but the DK cannot. AM, though, you need to be careful with the AM positioning. Heal pot transferred. Saves him barely in time. Pally. His mana is the most important, perhaps, to hold on in these late-game fights. Without healing, you don't really stand a chance anymore as human. And now, more and more of the Undead forces being driven back. Some kills are going the way of HawK. This one actually was denied, but he just doesn't have the rifle numbers. He needed more. And now it's cleanup time. Happy finding kill after kill. Not the easiest game for Happy ever, but still he seemed in control. And he gets the 1-0.
Great.
So what do you think this game came down to? Do you think there was like a key moment in that match?
Yeah, I think Happy always made sure that the priest amount is very low, and with it, they also had very low mana all the time, most likely, and didn't had the chance to make inner fire when it was important to have it. And Happy actually microed really well with the burrows, and HawK didn't have the dust nor flying machine when it needed. And so he was saving a lot of units while killing a lot of units, and this is very important. And despite the human army, which had very good heroes and very good items on the heroes, Happy managed to make the fight still very well all the time.
Yeah, also I think it's important to note Happy's early game focus. It wasn't on creeping, it wasn't on leveling up the DK, it was on aggression. Or not necessarily so much aggression, but rather keeping the AM on his toes. Don't let him creep big camps, don't let him get to level 3 easy, because if AM gets to level 3 easy, then MK can solo creep up easily to level 3 after. If AM gets to level 3 quick, he's going to get to level 4 pretty quickly after that. With level 4, there's going to be so much mana on everything. Yeah. And Happy really tried to prioritize slowing down HawK as much as he could, and then hit a really strong timing. Remember when he went to the top left, when Happy was tier 3, he suddenly started creeping, went to the top left to creep the red camp there, and there get perfectly double level 3, then moves out on the map, already with skeletons scouting in place, knowing where HawK is, hitting his power timing, and getting a little bit further ahead there. Yeah, Happy was playing this pretty well all the way through, I have to say. As to HawK's mistakes, hard to say. I still think perhaps you can creep a little bit more aggressively with the AM early. Like, a level 1 DK isn't that scary. I feel like you could perhaps risk some things.
Yeah, for sure. Or you could make mind games like that you walk somewhere where the undead doesn't expect you to be, like going on the other side of the opponent. And I've saw them many times, and it worked sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm not that sure if it works against Happy though, but you have to try something, right?
Also fast expo. I think fast expo into rifles, I think that's still a very valid strat. But HawK apparently not so fond of the fast expo anymore. MK first. Also, we talked about this earlier, has been looking really strong, but HawK probably not too practiced with that currently. Northern Isles will be our second map. This is certainly a much more difficult map to expand on. Harder creeps at the natural. No merc camp availability at all. So I would kind of be surprised to see a fast expansion here. But then again, HawK may try it, having lost his first match. It didn't look completely hopeless, though. It's not like HawK had absolutely zero chance and this was never ever going to go his way. So maybe he's just going to try his other strat again. We'll see. Map 2. Off we go. I just remembered, by the way, I have to add in something here. So the image is frozen right now, guys. I know. I'm going to be resuming here in just a second. All right. There we go.
Actually, make an expansion on Northern Isles is a little bit more easier than before right now, since there's no golem anymore and no slow golems.
You think so?
Yeah. Like I can make the expansion with 1 DK and 2 fiends, or maybe 1 fiend also.
You mean on the undead side?
Also at the human side, because the creep sword is very easy now. The troll priest is down with 2 militia and 1 water elemental. And then you just nuke the other piercing damage creep instantly, and then you have a very easy creep sword. Like I see when Romantic is doing that, he's having so easy the expansion done in like under 1 minute.
Yeah, but I mean the old expansion was also pretty easy, right? You do the rock golem.
Yeah, you just pull the creeps away. Yeah,
and then he doesn't cast spells. And the most important thing I always felt like on old Northern was DK couldn't steal the last hits of the big guy, you know. Whereas here, DK can absolutely steal the last hit of the Ogre Magi, and that is like almost an early game swinging advantage oftentimes.
But the HP pool of the creeps is lower than the golems. The creeps have way lower HP pool, so the creep spot is very much faster done than the rock golems ever be.
Yeah, that might be true.
A player's forces are
so it is aim first, by the way. Still no Mountain King. I'm not really expecting it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Happy is on the way here with the normal build as well. Tet Fiend build, which is basically the only thing we see nowadays against human. I know you for a while like to play ghoul opening against human. Do you still do that?
Sometimes, but not really with a lot of success lately. Like, I feel like really you need fiends. I did one time in lately, and I just got stomped so hard by some human player.
Yeah.
So I feel like ghouls are like not the best choice. Still.
It does seem like fiends are kind of better than ghouls. I do agree.
Yeah.
Most of the time. So, Happy, by the way, going back to his olden ways of level 1 instant DK harass, pressuring the AM pretty heavily. This matters, by the way, AM HP. Once the natural is being taken for an expansion, then it's going to be much tougher to make use of this AM, and if the AM is low already, it's going to be much harder to pressure the DK as well. That, of course, only really matters if you actually do go expansion, and HawK is not doing that. It's the one base tech, once again, will be trying once more with his tier 3 one base style. And, I mean, as you said before, he has had success against Happy with this, on ladder at least, before. But yeah, not in the first game. Oh, coil lasted. HawK tried there to punish that with a surround. It was
You cannot pick up the item.
Oh, the water elemental standing on it. But Happy gets it. So it's all about last hits here. Happy would like to get the Huntsman as well. Kind of surprised he's not committing in with the skeleton and the DK. But HawK grabs it. Oh! Losing it on the AM now. AM down to less than 200. That's a little bit scary. This one, Murloc stolen, was a big deal, by the way. This denies level 2. This will effectively cost the AM a lot of mana over time.
Right.
And here we go again. First Fiend comes out, and Happy always on the tail of the AM. Never giving him any space to breathe. Ever, basically.
Yeah, this is very important. You don't want to have the human make whatever you want to do.
Did you see that one game of Happy at WGL? I think he was playing against HawK on AZ, where Happy didn't creep a single camp the entire game. It was like a 25-minute game. Happy didn't creep a single camp. At the end of the game, he was level 554 or something.
No, I don't have seen this, but sounds fun.
That was pretty fun. That was pretty mind-blowing. Typical Happy, like in this matchup, of especially against human expansion player, of course. Since HawK is playing one base here, Happy will begin creeping at one point, perhaps when the Lich comes out or something. But again, it's the early expo human. Happy plays hyper-aggressive. But yeah, that is
I also feel like you have to do that because you have to pressure the human, and when your human is being pressured, human starts making mistakes somewhat, and then you have a better chance.
Absolutely. Makes sense. Makes sense. Happy now fighting for the last hit here of the Murlocs. AM is at least level 2 now. Oh, the footy does get sniped. Both heroes dropping fairly low in HP. Dangerous for both. Dangerous for the AM because the Lich will be coming. Dangerous for the DK because the MK will be coming. For that, tech speed is important. So who's got the faster tech? Let's take a look at the second heroes. Lich is certainly faster by a decent margin. And tier 3 being rushed behind right after.
What I really wonder is HawK is going really straight to tier 3. Like, normally the strategy is like that you have a small amount of making tier 2 units still first, because then you can have maybe a map control for a time.
Yeah.
And then you go into tier 3. But he's going instant to tier 3.
Yeah, especially with losing all these footies. Like, it's so hard to move out on the map now. And speaking of losing all these footies, kind of not the greatest control. Like, you kind of can see the damage from the fiends coming in early, so could have been sent back perhaps a little bit more. But anyways, Happy now is going to shift gears again. As the Lich comes out, it's time to start creeping with the two heroes pretty fast now. Especially if he makes use of Nova, which he doesn't actually. Ring of Regen, pretty good now. Normally, not that good in the late game. It is my personal favorite item in the game, actually. Not that it really matters, but I always like that item. Do you have something like that, EnTe, a favorite item in the game?
Yeah, a Pendant of Energy is always nice to have.
That's certainly true. It's a little bit broken, in my opinion. It's like so much better normally than the other.
Yeah, it lifts up the game very, very high, yeah.
MK, by the way, found the Ankh, which is pretty good. It's not really the best thing there, but it helps you stay alive, and that's never bad against Happy. Now
Like
contesting.
Archmage is level 2, Mountain King is level 1.
Yeah.
This is not the way you want to have a tier 2 game. That's why I don't like going tier 3 instantly. Because you want to have the tier 2 army first to be the map controlling guy in the moment.
And again, how important was it that Happy was playing aggressively, like basically the entire early game? If he hadn't done that, if Happy had just been creeping, he would be level 3 DK now, yes, but AM would be level 3, and there would be like 4 footies. But as it is now, AM is level 2 only, all the footies died, and the MK is having a tougher time as well. But tier 3 is finishing, so Pally will be coming in, and this is where the human can start feeling at least a little bit more safe with Holy Light to use. But of course, Happy is done with tier 3 as well. Picks up the orb, and is going into, yeah, Mass Fiends again. When's he going to begin his upgrades, I wonder? 1-0 already? Nothing more at the moment.
Yeah, but you asked me about the early game. Early game was, of course, one of the key moments here, why the game is looking like that right now. Like, human hero levels are very low. Undead, by the way, can creep faster than the human player, so he will have the chance to gain the levels after. But for the human, it hurts much more.
Yeah. Once these rifles get 2-0 upgraded, and we do actually have level 2 water elementals, which we finally have, and the human army becomes big, then the creep speed is also very high. But for that you need like at least 5 rifles, and that always takes a while. Oh, Creepjack at the red camp. HawK staying in here stubbornly for the big Magnetor. Oh man, HawK, this could be a serious overextension. He's at least gonna get the item, and it's a good one. Nice Stormbolt there to keep the DK controlled. But there was 1 rifle kill, and a priest, and a TP for the endurance, so that was pretty expensive.
Imagine he would have gotten the item as well and not getting stunned by the creep.
Oh, imagine if the Dark Ranger actually had silence. Silences the MK and then the DK steals the creep. Oh, man. But no, it's Dark Arrow first from the Dark Ranger. DK with great mana items, by the way. Sobi and Pendant. It's going to be very hard for him to run out of mana. Lich's inventory is pretty weak. We do have a marketplace. Sometimes Happy like stacking up on claws on the Lich, but not interested in that right now. He's interested in another Creepjack. Again, HawK, he's just never being left alone. The one time that Happy fell back was at tier 2 to creep with the Lich, and ever since then he's been scouting, he's been looking for the opponent, and looking for kills, and finding more here. This priest is dying as well, and again, MK, what's his level? Level 2. How good is that? That's really not good. That's shit, basically. Lich, he's level 3. That's actually really good. But level 2 Lich would be decent enough. It's the level 2 only MK that is the big issue. So heavy commitment on the experience. I don't know if he got it with a Stormbolt, actually. Lich tried to steal it with a Nova. I think he did.
Yeah, he got it.
Ooh, that's a painful loss as well. May only be a creep loss, but it matters. It matters a lot.
Yeah, HawK wanted desperately to have it because Mountain King is closely to level 3.
Yeah, this purple bar, guys. This one. MK.
And now there's no spot anymore.
This makes all the difference. And Happy in control again in this game. Is he expanding once more? Doesn't feel so far ahead just yet. Getting more upgrades for the Fiends at 2-0 already. Getting a 2-1 upgrade now. Rifles only 1-0. And not quite 50 supply because more and more units are being lost. Coil Nova. Boom! That is the danger for Priest. Easily able to get Coil Nova sniped. Next Magnetor. There's an Orb of Fire, by the way, so healing on the Fiend is reduced. Alright. HawK gets a kill. I think that's his first kill this game. Onto the Fiend. And that was level 3.
Yes.
So that is a big increase, but again, it cost him something. It cost him rifles, priests, peasants, and all he got to show for it was a single Fiend. Oh, no frost armor this time, by the way. Interesting. He did choose that before. But perhaps this game he doesn't even feel threatened so much because of how underleveled the MK was for a long time. Or perhaps it's the Ring of Regen keeping him safe. No. It's definitely not. I love the item, but it's not really that good. At this stage in the game, anyways. I mean, in these extended back and forth, it's okay for a bit of regen, but it's, you know. Claws plus 9 or Pendant of Energy would certainly be better. Happy still, not wanting to fall back. We're still fighting for the Magnetor. Again, MK with so much mana. Unwilling to spend it.
Players' forces are under attack.
They're both running after each other for a little bit hits, but there's no real engage so far. Oh, Archmage Aura, not the best for Demon.
Again, costs him a priest. And again, aiming for the DK. This will never end up in a kill. I don't know why human players keep on doing it. Like, top undeads will never lose the DK. Well, you know, in the first game he did lose the DK. But that was like the one freak accident exception. Look at this. He's going for the Fiend. Stormbolt Bash, boom. That's basically a kill. If he had followed up on that, that would have been a Fiend kill. Lich in trouble now as well, but Coil finds the Lich. Still dropping low. Invul will have to be used. And HawK is fighting his way back. And look what a difference the level 2 Stormbolt makes. All the difference in the world.
Actually, as I said, like, you want to damage the Death Knight a little bit because he's, till the Abomination is there, the only frontliner, and you want to have him backlined as human player.
You think
So
that
he's
changes
trying to
that
make
much? Whether DK is in front or back?
Yeah, I feel like, because when the Death Knight is the only frontliner, then he's always a potential kill, especially with triple Q of the human player. As we saw before, one time miscalculated and the Death Knight was down. So there's always potential, and when the Death Knight is in the back line, then he has to take more advantage of the situation for the human player.
Throw the Beast here. That's a rather big commitment. We just saw a reveal a second ago. Okay, there we go.
Forces are under attack.
Rifle going to the lab again. It's going to be another scan. And this game is looking suddenly much, much better for HawK. Getting another kill right there. Oh, big destroyer dispel though. And again, it costs a rifle. Paladin out of mana now. This is always where things get dangerous. Suddenly you don't have heal anymore to keep your army alive against the undead nuke.
You should sell the Archmage Aura in the
Yeah.
shop.
I think he was
There's one squeeze
afraid
spot.
to go up further. With Happy right
Players'
there.
forces are under attack.
Happy not getting the invul? No, he did. Okay, there we go.
Archmage level 4, this is quite important. Aura level 2 for the priest.
Yes. And that, with master training now, priests have outstanding mana regen. And HawK is starting to inch his way there. Pally almost level 3, MK level 3, AM level 4, 60 supply. Like, if Pally gets level 3 and HawK gets like 10 more supply, this human army is going to be really, really strong. But Happy going for a tactic that we don't see too much anymore. Destroyer, morph, push into the main. Oh, and there's no wall off. Ouch, that hurts. Perhaps.
This Nova will hurt. Ouch.
Is there no TP? Oh, I forgot about that. TP is gone.
Yep.
Where did it go missing? Ah, yeah, at the lab, at the other lab. Happy remembers though. Happy remembers that there's no TP anymore. And with HawK having to produce into army over and over to stand a fighting chance, he wasn't able to purchase that TP. And that is just a complete destruction of the economy in the main. And now can be an easy TP out. Happy is going to lose a single unit. Yeah, the Fiend is going to be lost, but that is easily worth the trade. With so much economy being roasted.
Yes.
Is there a benefit to not walling off the base?
Not really, no.
I guess, like, if for some weird reason suddenly 3 destroyers show up in the main, then it would be bad not to get in with rifles. But that doesn't really happen. Yeah, I think it should be a wall off in the base. But great by Happy to, you know, realize
Actually,
this.
is one of the weakest spots of the human player when they play tier 3 style. They most likely have not the super high defense in the base of the main. And at some point you can do this kind of go into the main base of the human player. Like, I've seen this several times when humans getting quite a loss of this because of this.
Now, HawK was looking in a decent position up till that point, but now once again seems to be reeling. Down by 10 supply, but he's looking for the fight. He's forcing the fight, honestly, across the map. With these 2-2 Crypt Fiends, Happy's trying to hold on. The rifles, when they're in a bad position, they of course get sniped instantly. We do have Inner Fire coming in now, and can't all be dispelled at the moment. Defensive Holy Lights, but only level 1 Holy Light until this point. Finally, it's level 3 for the Pally, but so late. This would have been so helpful to have earlier on. Pally now also low mana. The Dark Ranger, by the way, in a bit of trouble right there. Passing the invul. Doesn't use it before the Stormbolt hits, but she should still be
Holy
fine.
Light.
No! Holy Light finishes her off. And the Dark Ranger is dead. And once again, HawK is not giving this up just yet. The illusion block on the DK! And the
God.
Stormbolt Holy Light gets him the kill. Oh my god. HawK with the double hero kill. Happy. Not really buying the TP, perhaps a little bit too greedy. And now HawK pushing forward. But his heroes are extremely low mana now. Of course there's level 2 Brilliance. But still, not too many spells to be used. Has to be a DK buyback, I guess, from the tavern.
Yeah, that went quite well for HawK, I would say.
Yeah, he was down by 10 supply in that fight. But
Yes.
once he gets level 3 Pally, once he got inner fire everywhere, this is a strong army. Alright, DK's back. No mana at the moment, but plenty of regen.
A player's
Key moment was when Paladin reached level 3 for level 2 Holy Light.
Yes.
He has a big Imbu on the Lich. You should transfer it to Death Knight, I feel.
Happy never goes Death Pact, as it seems, in this matchup. Why do you think that is?
Not sure if I've seen him with Death Pact in this matchup so far, but I feel like you should do it like against Orc on level 4. You need Death Pact against triple hero Undead human.
Dark Ranger won't come back from this altar. Too much damage here, the rifles. Dude, what a comeback by HawK into this game. It seemed like a checkmate move to blow up the economy in the main. By the way, Happy could just very well go for a counterattack again. But he's kind of far away. Dark Ranger is going to be bought back once again at the tavern.
A player's forces
Level
are
4
under
hero,
attack.
right? Or was she level 3? No, she was level 3, right? So level 3, that's about 600 gold. And there she is. With an invul still. Losing the Black Citadel would hurt, so Happy has to come in here sooner rather than later, and does so. Stormbolt once again on the DK. Oh, but now the right click's coming in. The Ghoul flank from behind, then Black Citadel slow from the back as well. Oh my god, it's a lot of losses.
Yeah.
Lich dropping low though, but there is gonna be a coil. That's not gonna result in a kill. Fiends would be easy to grab, but do those kills matter so much? Perhaps HawK actually has to go for the hero kills now. But then again, losing the Dark Ranger isn't even that big of a loss, so he has to aim for the Lich and DK, it feels like. Oh, gonna get that that Fiend right there. Level up for the Lich. Level 5 Lich now. Oh my god, this would have been the perfect Nova right there.
Oh.
Coil Nova on the AM and he's dead. Did he just try to Shadow Meld with the cloak, or did that just look like that? Oh, the Burrow as well. Saves him from the Stormbolt. Focus. Speaking of focus, Pally gets Coil Nova, then he's dead. And now it's the MK left only. Still with an Ankh to protect him, but the units don't have that. GG and 2-0 for Happy.
Yeah, I feel like HawK should have continued with nuking the heroes actually, since he didn't have Dust and no Sentry Ward anymore to kill the board Fiends. It was a mistake actually to go to Fiends actually. I feel like if he would have continued pressure on the heroes, he could have might turn around again.
Yeah. I wonder if Happy's gonna go Death Pact now in the next game. Like, he's been losing DKs pretty heavily.
Yeah.
Like, if Human invests 2 Stormbolts and a Holy Light on the DK, and that doesn't result in a kill, and he just heals back up to like 600 HP by eating a Fiend, that's a lot of wasted mana. And losing a Fiend, of course, also does kind of hurt, but might be worth it. But, cool game, man. HawK in a tough spot after the early game, but then he fights his way back with level 3 MK. Then his main gets destroyed, but then still he manages to have a decent fight all the way on the other side of the map. That almost seems like a desperate play. Like, I have to win the game right now, otherwise I'm, out of this game.
Yeah, that was the right call actually, because there was no creeps left on the map, and the only chance he had to after this was making some kind of forcing a fight before Happy has too much advantage.
How would have Happy gotten a bigger advantage, in your opinion?
Like, he could have made transition into some Banshees with anti-magic shield, because sometimes when Happy sees like, okay, it goes to the late game against triple hero of the human player, you add Banshees with anti-magic shield, and then you're getting a little bit support against the nuke.
Yeah, that's certainly certainly could have been a strong transition, I guess. Oh, I forgot about a couple of supporters here, by the way. Where did we leave off? Last Girl Alive. And then Sean Ratum, thank you very much for the 100 bits. Stormbolt on the Death Knight is always the wrong play. Remo Demo quote. Yeah, I was proven wrong there. But I still think it was kind of due to Happy's misplay a little bit. Barbedi, thank you for the 35 months. Pathetic Moron gifting a sub to Toxie for 11 months. My name is Methos, thank you for the 2 months. And Cute Gamer Girl, thank you for the 200 bits. Sub to BTW or be a peon forever. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's September, by the way, guys. So subs are 50% off. So if you haven't already, perhaps consider now supporting your favorite streamers. And if that might be us, that would be just grand. Just grand. So, map 3 coming up next now. So far,
the
scoreline, I feel like, looks more one-sided than it really was. Like, HawK was pretty close, especially map 2. Map 2 was extremely close indeed.
Yeah, he had, of course, chances in the games, as we saw. And I feel Concealed Hill Rifleman is a little bit better for the human player, since he can easily creep the fountains, actually.
But it always takes a while, right? Like, you can't creep the fountains with only 2 rifles. Even with 3, it's not that easy. It takes a while.
Well, you have Water Elemental, and you make it most likely when the Mountain King is there, because you want to have the Mountain King leveling up from it.
Yeah. The game that, why this map stood out to me so much in this matchup, it was Happy playing against TH at WGL. And TH had just kind of destroyed 1-0 with his 1-base rifle style. And Happy then, in turn, won the game here against TH once again with hyper-aggression. And I feel like this map is really hard for MK to creep. Like, you can creep the... Like, early on tier 2, you know? When the MK comes out, you can creep the lab. That's pretty easily doable, kind of. But it's certainly not level 3. But every other camp is, like, hard. Like, if the Undead is close by. Like, the natural, if the Undead creepjacks, is horrible. The red camp in the middle is horrible. You can go to the fountains, but, like, when MK comes out, how many rifles do you have? 2, usually? Like, I don't think you can creep... Like, not if you're not level 3 AM.
Especially since HawK is transitioning into tier 3 very early on and not making a tier 2 army before.
Yeah. You think that's what HawK perhaps should be doing instead?
Yeah.
Delay the tier
like,
3?
Tier 2 Rifleman, Caster, and fast creeping all of the map and then transition into tier 3 is much stronger, in my opinion, than going fast tier 3.
Okay.
Since we saw all the games so far, HawK always had no chance in the early and the mid game to make his game play.
Yeah.
He always had to play Happy's game.
Maybe his concern is that the Pally won't get enough levels. That's of course an issue when delaying tier 3. And level 3 Paladin, as we saw, is a big help. Oh, that's a pretty poor creep mistake here by HawK. Getting the Water Elemental completely messed up, getting it ensnared. That's a lot of damage on the peasants. He's pretty lucky that Happy doesn't play super aggressively, super early game as much as he used to. Because normally, or like 1 month ago, he would have been in the human's face all the time. And 1, 2, 3... Yeah, 3 hurt peasants. These probably would have all died.
And not even a tower or anything.
Yeah. He's cutting a few corners. Like, he's trying to blade as greedily as possible. Wait, how many peasants is this? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. This could be an expansion.
Could be, yeah.
1 more peasant. If it's 1 more, it's an expansion. Maybe not. DK gets level 2. Did he steal the last hit? He may have. I'm not quite sure. I was focused on the peasants. Ah, yeah, he did. Otherwise, AM would be level 2. And this was, by the way, because the Water Elemental got ensnared. Water Elemental getting ensnared reduced the damage. If that hadn't happened, last hit would have gone to HawK. Happy gets that last hit as well. And it is attack, by the way. No expo play. But this is quite a bit later, right? Yeah, it's like almost half a tick behind Happy.
A player's forces are under attack.
Blacksmith coming pretty early though, so rifles will be coming in soon. 1 tower at least to be safe. And again, an opening into the main. No
Yes.
full wall off. Oh, I'm sorry guys, there was a mistake in the overlay. Of course, it's a best of 5, not a best of 3. Otherwise, this would be over already. But HawK still has a chance. It is going to be tough for him, but he still has a chance.
His early game goes a little bit better for him so far because he has a level 2.5 Archmage, which he never had before.
Yeah, true. Yeah, those camps are really good to do for the AM. So this is where creeping is pretty good in the early for the human. If he gets 1 or 2 more green camps, he's going to be level 3. But I still feel like for the MK, it's not that easy. Yeah, I forgot about the merchant earlier. The merchant is actually easy to creep. Well,
yeah,
safe to creep. It's not really easy because of inner fire. But priority
Happy
now...
did wait the creeps up, so they did cast inner fire to each other before HawK was beginning it.
Yeah, nice little touch there. Happy here, his priority now, prevent level 3 AM. If he can at all. HawK is sacrificing a few footies, willingly, to get the experience. He's gonna get the Tide Runner as well. Is the Limb Ripper dude even enough for level 3? I don't think it is. No, that's pretty sure it's not enough.
HawK's losing another footman.
Yep. Losing 2 so far. Might be losing more. AM. Can you creep the green, the kobolds, with only level 1 water elemental? Maybe you can.
Yeah, you can.
He's gonna try. And that would be level 3 for him then. Tier 2 is done for HawK, by the way. MK coming. Is
nice
it...
body block here from Death Knight, losing another footman here for HawK.
Absolutely. And there goes the tier 3 again. So MK into tier 3 on Happy side. We have the Lich out already. Tier 3 after. And then Slaughterhouse. Fast text by both. No, it's not that easy actually to kill these kobolds. Ooh, he's taking a lot of damage.
Lucky there's a health one.
Yeah, there's a fountain, so he should be fine.
Oh, bash, double bash.
There we go. Finally level 3. Uh-oh, hopefully for him he doesn't run into the waiting arms for Happy. No. At the fountain, hiding now in the shadows as well. But once again, not the easiest early game for HawK at all.
Yeah. He's also playing the same thing again. He's going fast tier 3. His Archon Sanctum is late and his Rifleman amount is very low.
Well, Happy was trying to sneak the red camp here, but HawK sniffed it out. And only with the MK here, this is enough interference. Not even a level 2 DK, so it's not like you can nuke the Ogre Lord so hard.
Where's the Archmage going to go?
Into the main. Rare play to see nowadays. Looking for a Ziggurat cancel. Oh, this would be delaying the statues for a long time, but no. Actually, perhaps thinking about the Acolyte kill, but he's definitely not gonna get that. So Ziggurat finishes. Statues now can be coming for Happy, and he starts making them right away. The dance for the Ogre Lord, something we see a lot on Concealed. But now he's got fire, he's got Bloodlust, he's kind of scary now.
Yeah. I feel like HawK wanted him to creep there, but he didn't use the mechanic.
Big lasted right here. Oh, look at the right clicks from the Ogre Lord though. Ouch! They hurt!
Yeah. Mountain King has to run.
He's so fast with Bloodlust.
But Happy's losing 2 Acolytes in the main.
Oh, damn. I totally wasn't looking there. I think that's super worth it though. Yeah, like yes, it's gold, but it's MK not leveling. And MK low
Klaus
HP.
plus 12. Oh.
Oh, Lich at plus 18 now. Gonna be plus 23 soon. That looks kind of like a desperate play, right? Like, with the AM. Looks like to me.
Yeah, I've never seen something like this before, and I don't think it's gonna be used a lot.
Yeah. Alright, he killed 2 Acolytes. This was effectively how much gold? Like 250, so it's quite a bit of gold, but it was the middle going to Happy, and with a class plus 12 especially, that is worth more than 250 gold.
Yeah, I think the middle creep alone gives the amount of gold, so...
No way.
Like, altogether. Altogether with the creep.
Altogether. I thought
Yeah.
you meant the one guy.
Not the single one.
I don't know. I can never really remember how much gold.
I think the big one gives like 60 or 65 or something.
I would have said something like that. I think like the Granite Golem gives like 95 or something. I think it's the only one I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I always like underestimate. Like gold you get from creeping, just from killing creeps. That's never something I think about.
Crystal Ball, not a really good drop for our HawK.
Scouts the natural of Happy. Sees
Footman
there's
down.
nothing there.
I've seen better footmen managing actually from HawK.
Yeah, it's not, you know, exactly what he wants, but at the end of the day, it's footies. Like, in my opinion, not gonna do much anymore. Oh, Creepjack now though. The Lich already hurt. The Drake is far from dead, and the Lich still in trouble. But only level 2 Stormbolt doesn't hurt that bad. Dude, how is he always leveling up this Lich so hard? Suddenly he's almost level 3. I guess it was the red camp in the middle, wasn't it? No third
Also,
hero for
yeah.
Happy yet. Oh, the bash on the Lich, though. Might be in trouble now. Stormbolt coming in. Uses the TP before. Still no Dark Ranger. Oh, Happy doesn't have the Ziggurat. Wait, no, it just finished?
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah, I think it just finished. Or maybe I just
Players'
looked
forces
wrong.
are under attack.
Yeah, but he doesn't want a third hero yet. He's making a statue in the Fiend instead.
But I think it's pretty good for HawK. He forces Happy back. He now gets the Fountain. And the first time in this series, HawK is going to have a level 3 MK before the first big engagement. This is going to change a lot. Robe, also
sure.
not too bad.
Yeah, Mom King's level 3 now, which is very important.
Yeah.
But there's no much more spots to creep. Like the Paladin, probably not getting level 2 from creep spots anymore.
Yeah, everything's on the right-hand side now. We have the lab, we have the fountain, and we have the gold mine. So this is where all the value on the map is. So this is what was going to be fought over now. We do have a Dark Ranger, and I was surprised here to see Happy not going for the invul as he passed by, but goes for it now. Crystal Ball sees what's going on, but no web, so the Drake can't be locked down. Lumber is instead being invested by Happy into upgrades. Once again, 2-1 on the Fiends. Rifles, only 1-0. Oh, and an expansion. Would you look at that?
Yes.
Kind of like game 1. Sneaky in the back. Expo coming up. So, if HawK doesn't end up losing the majority of his army here once again, this could be looking good for him. Oh, but this flank. Happy positioning. Oh, and HawK on the way out. But again, level 3 MK and inner fire already. So much better this game than the previous ones. In we go. Priest in the back, not getting sniped right away, and the first kill goes to HawK. Good priest positioning. Was really hard to kill them. They were so far in the back, and now
nice round.
illusions around on the Dark Ranger, and she's dead. HawK playing a really good game right here. Is looking pretty strong at the moment.
Happy just finished Burrow right now. Like the Fiends just have Burrow right now.
May have to use that here. Coil keeps it safe for now. No bashes, so the Fiend might get away. Oh, and the Stormbolt. It's going to be covered by a Coil. And now the MK's out of mana. And now Happy can start fighting back, I think. I'm surprised he's not chasing. Like, Nova chase down now with the MK solo mana. I think could have been a consideration. Maybe he wants to wait for the Dark Ranger. She's almost back. Was only level 1. Doesn't take long. 2-2 now on the Fiends, by the way.
But for HawK, it's a very good situation right now. His expansion is running, and he didn't scout it yet, the Undead player. And HawK just won a little fight.
Yeah. And the great thing
that's
is,
the dream.
everything that the players want to get, all the creeps, are on the other side of the map. So probably the armies will be busy on the right-hand side, whereas the expansion is in the top left. So yeah, this is looking pretty damn good for HawK. His best chance by far so far to win a map. And all comes down to the experience, right? Early level 3 AM, enabled early level 3 MK, enabled transition into Master Priests, made everything else much easier.
Yeah, and there's still a Goblin Lab right now, so actually this is really good and looking good for HawK right now,
Yeah.
I would say.
Totally agree. Oh, AM's gonna get level 4 here? Oh yeah,
Yes.
he is. Wow, that's amazing. It took a couple of landmines to dodge here in this game. It was a little bit scary for HawK here at some points, but he survived the mid game. He's up at high hero levels now, kind of high, and he's got the expansion and he's got 70 supply. This is where the army becomes really strong.
And a Beast Scroll, which will potentially give a little bit bonus damage for a while till the Destroyer gets dispelled.
Yeah. And unless there's like at least 2 destroyers, and you spread your rifles well, it can't even be dispelled because the AoE of the dispel is pretty small.
Like HawK on 70 supply and Happy's on 64.
Oh, Happy's going all in. Has he scouted the expo yet? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
We do have a couple of gyros.
But he must have a feeling like there's something.
So we do have gyros now against the destroyers as well. So double counters against the destros with the gyros and the rifles. Don't know if there's web. Happy required a lot of lumber earlier for upgrades. So in we go. No web at all. So destroyers will have to fight the gyros by themselves. Slow now coming into the mix as well. Scroll of the Beast being used. Not in the perfect position, to be honest. And Happy's just completely ignoring the rifles in front. Going for the casters first, behind, but taking a lot of damage in the process. HawK this time not aiming for the hero kills. Not yet at least. Oh, but now the Lich might be in a dangerous position. Getting coiled though. And getting back to safety. And now the rifles left alone by themselves here. With the casters far away. You have the reveal again coming in, and 2 quick Fiend kills right there for HawK. MK with more mana, at least 2 Stormbolts. Dark Ranger in trouble again. Holy Light, and she's dead. 1 more kill for the level 3 on the Pally, but also more kill going the ways of Happy with level 4 now on the Lich. TP out from HawK, but losing 3 more rifles on the way. Ouch. That hurt.
It's also the Lich having so much bonus damage. I feel like this is the main thing, while he has so much damage on the units of the human player.
Yeah, Fiends don't do that much damage against rifles, but the Lich certainly does. And damn, it looked like this was HawK's game. But then Happy, what a weird fight. Just running past the rifles, running right for the priests in the back. And it seems to be working. Oh, DK though. He has been able to kill the hero before, but won't be able to here. I really don't like the gyros, by the way. At all.
Yeah, they don't do nothing.
Yeah, like if it's only 2 gyros or 3, it's like super underwhelming. Oh, last second coil. Saves the Fiend. HawK is still trying to hold on. But he's got so little army left, man. So little. Not too much mana anymore.
Otherwise, the Mountain King would have level 4 already.
Taking out the statues would be a big deal. This is the source of regen. And level up for the MK level 4. Higher chance of bash now as well. But Happy just with a little too much stuff. A little bit too many Fiends. A little too many destroyers. And now level 5. Death Knight. Oh, I can't wait for the chat after this game. Pally in trouble. Holy Light. Divine Shield, I mean? Not using it yet. The mana's gone. The mana is gone, and the human army without mana doesn't do much. Whereas the Lich with Orb always does. It seems like. And the Expo is getting laid waste 2 again. Oh man! That must sting. That must sting. HawK. I thought he had it. I thought he had this game.
Yeah, it looked good for him.
But you can never count out Happy, can you? Alright.
Not at all.
One last try with the militia here. Perhaps they can change something. But now the level 3 coil is so good. Before, with the Orb of Fire coming in, the coil doesn't heal that much. But once the coil is level 3, it is once again really good healing. As we can see right there. Fiend saved once again. And the militia just being turned to skeletons one after the next. Burrow coming in over and over. Really heavy Burrow abuse. More kills and level 5 Lich. Now this could be the perfect Nova right here. Oh, baby! Into the priest. That hurts. Happy. Doesn't lose the overview, even saving the destroyers, unburrowing. And the menace that is Happy rages on, undefeated in W League. Okay, I was kind of expecting a GG there, but it's not yet.
Not yet.
But to be fair, this game is looking pretty over. A-Bomb again, super late. And I kind of like that. Like, A-Bomb in theory is good for Disease Cloud, but it actually gets killed extremely fast with rifles and Orb Fire.
Yeah, Happy's more into making the Fiends and the upgrades.
Yeah.
To kill the caster very quick.
I think that's the way to go. I think Happy has kind of figured out how to play against this style.
Like also he had Crystal Ball in the fight and he didn't use it, so he could have killed at a crunch of Pork Fiends, but he didn't use it.
Relying on the flying machines, expected to have detection there perhaps. But these flying machines, man, like, it's always only 2 fighting. They're so underwhelming. 2 Fiend kills now actually being found by HawK. Can he perhaps make his way back into this game? Getting almost another one there on that Fiend, but not quite. And the Novas again. Oh my god, these level 3 Novas are insane. MK is still far away from level 5. That sometimes can change something, but not here. And the Pallies, once again, out of mana as well. Lich will never be out of mana with the Dark Ritual, which is level 2, by the way. I think I prefer that choice. Earlier he was going for Frost Armor, which does help against nuke and stuff. And focus, but yeah.
Oh,
the mana sustain from the Dark Ranger and the level 2 Dark Ritual is off the charts. GG 3-0 for Happy.